Have you ever had a day that goes from bad to worse and it just seems to keep on piling on and on and on? For a truck driver, this could be a devastating thing, and this is because generally we get paid by the mileage. And if that truck is not moving, we are not making money. So a minor inconvenience like a flat tire can shut us down for multiple hours and we're losing out on significant money. But luckily for my bad day, I'm in a local position now and I was paid by the hour, so it was just a laughable moment of Murphy's Law in full swing. So the other day at the end of my shift, I did a post-trip inspection and I found that there was a crack in the sidewall of my steer tire on the passenger side. Now this is a major issue and something that definitely needs to get fixed before that truck starts moving. Alright, this folks is why we do a pre-trip and post-trip inspection. Stuff like that just kind of cracks out of nowhere, and that's one bad bump away from being a blowout and a very, very bad day. The result of that not getting fixed could end up in a blowout, resulting in the loss of control of the truck. So I let my dispatch know, hey, this tire is going to need to be replaced before the truck can keep on moving. The following day, we didn't have any work due to the fact that there was some rain. And on a dump truck, wet dirt doesn't really mix very well. Coupled with the fact that if you are picking up dirt out of a location and it's wet and muddy, when you leave out of that location, you're tracking dirt onto the highway or to the roadway, and that could cause a danger for other travelers. So when we have heavy rains, it typically shuts us down. But I got a call from my dispatch in the middle of the day saying, hey, is there any way that you can come and get those tires fixed while we're off today? Because I believe we'll be working tomorrow. I said, yeah, I can come in for a couple hours and get those fixed. Meaning take the truck to a tire repair shop and get them changed out. Now, only the passenger side steer tire had the crack in it. However, if you're going to replace one, you might as well replace the other, because it's a matter of time before they both end up going. So I headed over to the repair shop to get it fixed. And this particular repair shop is always fantastic about getting us in and out very quickly. I got there and immediately they had me pull up to the first bay and they began working. I asked them if they would mind me recording and they said no, it's not a problem, so we decided to have a little bit of a race. The mechanic that's on the passenger side has been doing it for longer than the one on the driver's side, and you can see that reflected in this video. So after the tires were changed, we got some fresh meat on the shoes. We're ready to rock and roll the next day. So I got over to the dirt pit. I ran 2 loads of dirt about 20 minutes down the road and 20 minutes back. So with the dump time, it was about an hour each. Well, as I was leaving with my 3rd load of dirt, one of the other drivers flagged me down and said, hey, you got a flat. So I pulled off to the side of the road and inspected what was a flat tire. And sure enough, within those first 2 trips, that brand new steer tire had got a rock that was really sharp, got wedged in between between the tread and ended up causing a leaking tire. Now, steer tires cannot be patched, otherwise it could cause a danger and it's a big liability. So that brand new tire is now wasted. It can't be used unless it's used on like a trailer or a drive tire or something like that. So now, after only working for 2 hours, I had to sit on the side of the road and wait for about an hour and a half for the repairman to come and fix the tire, put a new one on it on the side of the road. So we got all fixed up, rocking and rolling, ready to go. I got 2 more loads of dirt done. Once I got to the top of the RPM range of like each gear, it was like hesitating. It was like struggling, a loss of power, kind of sputtering a little bit. So I looked down at my fuel gauge and it was running a little low. It wasn't quite empty yet, so maybe the gauge was a little bit off. So I pulled off into a gas station and filled up with some diesel. I figured that after I got some fuel, this would solve the issue. And being that it didn't completely run out of fuel, it didn't need a fuel filter. So after I was done, I got back out on the road. But once I got back out on the road, it was still giving me the same issues. Between the 15 and 1800 range on the RPMs, it was sputtering, like it wanted to work, but it just wasn't getting any power. So I called up my dispatch and asked them what was going on. You know, I'm not sure what's happening. This is what I'm experiencing. And they said to go ahead and stop the truck and they'll send out a tow truck. I'm thinking, oh, you gotta be kidding me. I've just spent 2 hours on the side of the road with the guy changing my tire, and now I gotta deal with a tow. So I sat there and waited for another hour and a half for a tow truck to come pick me up. Luckily, the guy was really nice and he's been doing it a really long time, so I talked to him for a little bit. Yeah, it seems like a lot more fun to pull people out of a ditch than just driving down the road.
Yeah, get some excitement sometimes.
Minus the on-call shit, that sucks.
Yeah, every other night, every other weekend.
How often does that happen though?
I was out till midnight last night.
Damn. We got the truck mounted on the truck and we were on our way. Currently, the truck is still sitting in the shop, still yet to be fixed, but some days it just seems like nothing can go your way. And like I said, as an over-the-road truck driver, this could be very frustrating because you're losing out on money. And had I been an over-the-road truck driver and it's still sitting in the shop, you could get stuck in a completely different location than your hometown, which could force you to either A, get a hotel room, or B, a rental car home. But either way, you're still not getting paid. Now, some companies do offer a little bit of a breakdown pay, but it's nowhere near what you can make while you're driving a truck. But luckily, if you work for a big enough company, they might have a backup truck for you. And I count myself pretty lucky that they do have a backup truck for me at my current job. But I've been there. I've been stuck on the side of the road. I've been stuck in hotels for a week trying to wait for a truck to get fixed. But unfortunately, that's just a part of the industry. When you're relying on a machine to do the work for you, sometimes the machine has issues and sometimes the machine breaks down. Try not to get too frustrated, and if you find yourself stuck in another town, maybe try to get an Uber and go out and explore a little bit while you have that forced downtime. Or if nothing else, relax in the hotel room and get caught up on some sleep. But I'm curious, what's the longest that you've been broken down for? Leave it down in the comments below. All right, bye. Hey, quick update everybody. I am working on moving houses over the next week or two, so this will probably be my last long form video for about 2 weeks. I might try to throw in some shorts here and there just to keep you guys entertained, but hopefully next time you see me, I'll be in a brand new studio setup and it'll be looking nice and sharp. And if you've made it this far in the video, you guys are the real ones. You guys are the ones that make this channel possible, and I appreciate every single one of you. Come chat with me and other drivers over on Discord. It costs absolutely nothing, and it's just a great way for me to be able to communicate with you guys on a more long form and direct level. It's a great platform for me to be able to help new drivers out, answer any questions that you guys might have, and try to help encourage you guys through the rough days like blown tires and broke down trucks. And thanks again for sticking through to the end. You guys are the best. All right, bye.